Hello, guys. Welcome. Just caught me out doing something there. Welcome to the stream. Another Saturday evening here in Bangkok live, as they say. Yeah. Good evening to everybody's in. Somebody asked me the question of the week. Before I get into that, sorry about the glare on these. My other glasses broke last week, and I've had to dig these out, and they got quite a sheen on them. I know it's off-putting, but most of the time I'm kind of looking down at the comments. So just for a while, okay. Somebody said to me, "Why do you have to have a 3-minute intro? It's so long. Everybody else has 30 seconds." The reason I do it is because by the time the 3 minutes is up, I've got 100 people already in the stream. I've watched other YouTubers. They start with just a very small intro, and by the time they start speaking, there's maybe 7, 8, maybe 10 people in, and within sort of 5 minutes I'll have 100 people in. I do it the other way round, so I'll let the music go for 3 minutes, so when I talk there's actually people there. That's the reason. That's why I do it. Before I get into anything else, I'm going to say hi to Tom. He's probably not watching this live because it's Saturday night here in Bangkok. He's in Bangkok. We went out for a few beers last night. One of the viewers invited me out. Went out for a few beers with him. We had 3 games of pool. I won 1, he won 2, so he beat me. We only had 3 games. But the reason he beat me is because when I put the black ball down, I also put the white ball down. So I actually gave him the 2 games. So Tom, if you do watch this eventually, only joking. Right, let's see who's in the house tonight as well. Is Damon out there? Have we got Damon tonight or Franco? I know probably Damon will come in on the member stream later. I know he's out doing his shopping. Let me just see if I've got anything from Franco there. Give us a shout, Franco, if you're there. Nice to know if you're in the background. Right, just say hi to Jesse Hughes as well. Very nice guy. I used to play pool with him. He's in the States at the moment. He's lost a lot of weight. He's on this diet. He's just become a member. So welcome to you, Jesse. You probably watch this later because of the time difference. Right, okay. Ryan Seeger, hello everyone, and Pete. Martin Ryder, afternoon, Mongers. Crypto Chris Card, how you doing? Brian Street, afternoon, all from April, England weather. It's very hot in the UK at the moment, is it? In fact, all of Europe seems to be quite hot right now. You know, a lot of people, they want to know what it's like in Thailand at the moment because we are in low season. It's quiet. It is actually quiet now. I told you about Pattaya when I was down there sort of 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. It was pretty dead. Actually, most of the bars were just about ticking over. But around here now, I really notice it. As I say, I went out with Tom, very nice guy from the States, viewer. And where did we do it? We didn't have a heavy night. We went to Soy 8 and we had a couple of drinks in Rumours there because we were just having a chat. We didn't want to go to go-go bars. It was quite later on as well. We went to Rumours in Soy 8 and then we went round to, we crossed over the BTS and we went to Soy 7/1. And there's a bar down there on the left, got a couple of pool tables called, I think it's called the Victoria. Quite a nice little bar. We had a few drinks in there, but it's quiet. I noticed it's quiet. Normally, sort of 11 o'clock in that bar in 7/1, you can't get on the pool tables at 11 o'clock at night. They're just, they're rammed. There's names on the board, but there was an empty table, and on this table, 2 of the bar girls were playing pool. So, yeah, it's pretty quiet now. And when I walk around where I live, I notice a lot of the restaurants 3 months ago that, 10 o'clock at night, you wouldn't get a seat in there, or 9 o'clock at night. Now they're half empty. So it's, when you live here, it's kind of nice in a way. Because it's not sort of heaving, but in another way it's kind of a little bit sad because most people are not, who come here on holiday, are not here at the moment. So it's very, very quiet if you're planning to come out here. Macmillan Nurse 1, greetings from Saudi Arabia. Great show. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Donald Trump, how you doing, sir? D in Isan, good evening, all from Kanchanaburi. I can say that now. That's what, I'm really bad at pronouncing some Thai names, but I can pronounce it now. So hi D, how you doing? I was still thinking about your comment when what you said about the Hooters girls. They didn't look too young. I kept going back and looking at that video, and yeah, you're right. They did look a little bit older than they used to be. Right, Fat Tony, yes, Pete, Big Pete and Marley may be away. So, like I said to you last week, Marley's not going to be in the streams for a little while. She's not confident at the moment. She doesn't feel great, and we haven't found the ideal location to do it. We're making some great videos now. They're not getting huge numbers, but I hope to build on that. I mean, they're getting about 4,000 a view. The stories get 20,000. It's a bit frustrating. I seen a video the other day that a Pattaya YouTuber put up, and the title, it had a girl laying on a bed, and the title of the video was, it was something like, cheap hotel, $12 a night, free girl included, and there was this girl on a bed, 1.2 million views. Sex sells, doesn't it? We go out for the day, and we do a whole day's film, we get 4,000, but that's fine. I'm just trying to make the channel go in a little bit of a different direction. We went to Ayutthaya on Wednesday. We're trying to do a video every Wednesday now. I've just finished editing, and I'm going to release this week's video for the members when I finish the live stream tonight at midnight for the members. I'm going to release that video that we did in Ayutthaya for the members tonight, and for everybody else, it will go out on Wednesday. I've got a little 10-second clip here, a little teaser from this. Is I must say, you know, Marley, when we go out to these locations, she always dresses the part. She makes a big effort in trying to look the part. You know, like when we went to Chinatown, she wore the China dress. So we went to Ayutthaya, she dressed in traditional dress. I don't think there's any sound. It's literally a 5-10-second clip. But this is Marley in her traditional dress in Ayutthaya. Ah, you did your back way. You weren't supposed to hear that bit. That's edited out of the actual video, maybe in the bloopers later. But she, you know, she's really enjoying it, and she told me she really, you know, because she's busy. She's always on the go, and to actually get out of Bangkok, sit in the car for a couple of hours, she really enjoys it. And what I like about her is she always dresses the part, and you see there, she's looking very, very beautiful, and that's a 15-minute video. So if you haven't been to Ayutthaya, I would really recommend it, because I went up there with the sole intention of making a video. We're in Ayutthaya. Here we go. Normal sort of thing, like the train market. But you know what? It blew me away. It's such a fantastic place to visit. It's all old temples, and it was the first capital of Thailand. Then they moved it to Bangkok for various reasons. But that video will be out, like I said, at midnight for members, Wednesday for non-members. Okay, very, very, very nice video. Shane Old Traveller, how you doing, mate? We had you in last week. When we do the member stream, we tend to try and bring a few people into the stream to have a chat. That was quite good fun. We had Steve from Yours Travels last week. We had Shane, he was in last week. And we also had, who was the other one? It was Franco, wasn't it? He was in. Right, Happy Ed. Hi, Peter. Now, Happy Ed, are you formerly the fake Ed? The guy who sends me. You haven't sent me any emails for a long time. If it is you, a couple of weeks anyway. Used to send something every day. Right, Tom Waddington. Hi, Martin Ryder. Massage girl is running late. Okay, Nick S. How you doing? Mad 67. Morning all. My only one weekly drink. Right, how's my drinking going? Well, I'll put my hands up and be really honest with you. Okay, so I got over the curve, the worst part of it. You know, I said I was going to give up drinking completely, and you know what? I did give up, and I totally didn't touch it for 11 days straight. And then I went out for a drink. I went out and I met somebody and I had a couple of beers and I really enjoyed them, you know. So what I'm trying to do now is just knock the alcohol in the head when I'm not out or I'm at home. And, you know, I used to sit there drinking beers and whiskey and watch Netflix. I'm trying not to do that now. I don't want to give up completely. A lot of people said, well done, you know, if you give up drinking, that's the way to go. And it is great. I was having better sleeps, but I've got to the point now where it doesn't bother me if I have a drink. And when I do go out and have a couple of beers, I really enjoy it. I went out with Tom last night. I think I had 4 beers and then came home and went to sleep. And it was really enjoyable. Rumble, greeting mongers. I could lie and bullshit and say, yeah, I've never had a drink for 2 weeks, but that's, you know, I don't want to do that. Stephen James, yo, Peter, any update on the join button? Well, the join button is actually, I did mention this last week. If you go to my website, thailandbound.com with a hyphen, I'll just put it up there again. Forget the consultation bit, just put in thailandbound.com, little line in the middle. There is a link on there that says join or members or something. You can join from there, or on the front of my YouTube channel in the right hand top corner, there's a button there. So I don't know why you're struggling with that one. If you're talking about the iPhones, I haven't got round to it yet, because somebody told me if you've got an iPhone, you can't join on an iPhone. Let me just make a note of that, because I'll be honest, I totally forgot. And I'll look up how to do that. iPhone join button. Okay, no excuses now, right? I'll try and get that done for you by next week. Okay, I've written it down. So I just, you know, when I finish the stream, I forget. Right, where are we? Right, Jason Finch, how are you doing? Ben, let's just get these currencies up. I'll tell you what, the pound is getting really strong now towards the Thai baht. The dollar doesn't seem to be doing as well. Let me just show you where we are with the exchange rates there. Not bad, 45. I just transferred a load of money over yesterday. It won't be in my account till Monday, because the rate's so good. You know, I've got, you know, I do earn money in the UK. I'm retired here, but I earn money in the UK from some bits and pieces. So I've just transferred some money over, and I got a really good rate on it. But there you go. You see on the bottom the exchange rates there. Right. Okay. Right, joy in Thailand. Drinking in moderation is all good here in Chicago. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said to you last week, all joking aside, I think it was good to have a week or so without the booze, just knock it on the head. And it was a little bit hard to sleep the first couple of days, but I felt it did me some good. I'm just seeing if that's Franco. Yes, Franco. You cannot join on an iPhone. Yeah. Oh no, Franco, and I forgot about it, and I've written it down now. So what I'm going to do, my mission, I've got something to do on Monday, but on Tuesday that'll be my mission: how to put a join button on an iPhone. Right. Let's have a look. Hi Peter. This is a gem. Maybe you should could be the one on the bed. That's Be Happy Pat. Hi Peter. This is a gem. Which bed is that, Pat? I don't know if I'm missing out there. Let me have a look. Okay. All right, I'll move on. Right, Steve the Butcher, nice video about the train. That was a train market. Well, I'm trying to do more and more of that. I've had some criticism. Some people have said, it's not what your channel's about. You should be out there doing the manga stuff. And sex does sell. I did a bit of research on. I was looking at some other channels, and especially a lot of the patio channels, if they talk about bar girls and ladies and free hotel rooms with free girl and all this, they get a lot of clicks. I told you lots and lots of times there's a girl down there in Pattaya, 300,000 subscribers, and it's just kind of like going into massage parlors and playing volleyball on the beach. Yeah, it sells, doesn't it? Right, Martin Ryder. As long as you don't go above the government recommendation of 24 units a day, then it's okay. I think what's even better, Martin, is if you have kind of alcohol totally free, rather than keeping within the. I'm just trying to turn this off. Hang on. Yeah, rather than trying to count units, which is good also. But my preferred way is have a few days where you don't drink. When you go out, drink what you want, and then knock it on the head for a few days after, or a week, whatever. That works better for me. I don't have to think about it too much, Shen. Right, is that Carl Lu? Political uncertainty in Thailand is hitting the bar. Okay, well, they still haven't made up their mind about the green stuff, have they now? Because let's not get into politics, right? Okay. Alan edited, hi Pete and everyone in the chat. Crypto Chris card, use wise, cheap charges and instant. Simon got some money from his bank account in England. He had to transfer some money over, so he did a test. He sent £100 over to Wise and then his Bangkok bank, and then he did the same thing with a regular bank transfer. The Wise was instant. It was like a minute after he did it. It was in his Bangkok bank, his account, his Casacorn bank here. The bank transfer takes 2 days. 2 days, I don't know why. And he just got a lot less money because of the exchange rates and the service charges and all the rest of it. So yeah, absolutely, Chris. Was it Chris who mentioned that there? Just I've lost it. Okay, whoever mentioned Wise there, it is it's a really good way to do it. Unfortunately, I did it at the weekend, so I did it yesterday. I did too small amount. I did an amount of £500 that came in instantly. Then I did 5k. That won't come in until Monday. That's not my monthly budget. That'll last me probably 2 to 3 months. It's just I brought so much over at the moment because the rate is so good. Why not? Right, Martin Ryder again. Interest rates have pushed the pound up. Will drop in the spring. Thanks for cheering me up, Martin. Right. Right, Fat Tony. You just need a USP, Pete, like Trev buzzing. I don't know. I've got one, haven't I? I tell lots of stories on the channel, and do my own thing. Don't really know how to answer that. Right, Latte Malika. I do a bottle of red wine a day. Have done for 7 years, and I'm 71. Yeah. Well, they do say a glass of wine a day is good. I don't know about a bottle. I don't know how big the bottle is. I'll just have a slurp of my water here. Okay. Always very thirsty when I do these streams. I don't know why. Right. Max Smith, way up Faisal. Is it Faisal? Steve the Butcher, lovely to see Marley. I'm gonna try. I'll try and bring her in. Let's have a look. I just need to find somewhere to do a stream from because I mentioned before I can't bring her to the apartment. If you remember, you'll know why. I'm not going to say here, but I just can't, and I need to find a good location to do a stream from. Right, Clong Andy, even Peter, looking splendid as always. What are you planning for your next trip out to Bangkok? Phil, well, I might need some help from you guys. So what it is, Marley's not in the streams for the moment, but what I've said to her, we'll do a video every Wednesday. We'll go out in the car. We'll have a day out. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. We went down to the railway market. It was a day out. I enjoyed it. We went to a Utia on Wednesday. I've now edited that. Marley looks beautiful in there. and I've joined a music site. So instead of using that boring YouTube music, I've now got some better background music, which enhances the videos. And I was actually wondering what I should do this Wednesday. I don't want to do anything in Bangkok. I don't want to go down and film, MBK Center or some restaurant or a plate of fried rice or Hooters and soy four or cowboy. I don't want to do any of that. Okay. I want to go somewhere and film something interesting so that when you come here on your holiday or vacation, whatever you want to call it, when you come here and you're thinking, what should I do for a day trip? You might get an idea and go there for that railway market, for instance. You grab a minibus, and go down there. It's a day trip. It takes a couple of hours to get down there, 4 or 5 hours down there, have your lunch, back up to Bangkok by 5. Great day out, cheap. So yeah, if you've got any ideas on this stream, you can think of somewhere I should go and film with Marley on Wednesday, let me know, and yeah, we'll talk about it. Right. Crypto Chris card, 24 a week, not a day, and it's 21. I don't understand that. 24 a week, not a day, and it's 21. I must have said something earlier and I've totally forgot about it. Frank Trupp, oh, you're talking about units. Let me read that again then. 24 a week, not a day, and it's 21. Okay, 21 units a week. Okay, I got you. Right, fair enough. Right, Farang Travels, 24 units a day sounds good to me. Okay, right, people picking up on that now. Did I say a day? Nick S, open YouTube in the browser, not the app, and you can join channels. Okay, good point. So if you've got an iPhone and you wanted to join, I'll just put that up there. What Nick's saying, instead of so you open your browser on your iPhone and you do it from there. Just go into the website or the channel and you can do it from there. Good idea. Thank you, Nick. Right, love you long time, Jing Jing. UK interest rates climbing help. Well, they reckon about 7%, don't they? It's the same in the UK now. What's going on in Finland? I see a lot of kind of riots and burning of effigies, and I haven't found out what's going on. It looks pretty serious. Michael Mackin, how about that new cheeseburger from Bangkok, Thailand with 20 slices of cheese? Well, if you haven't heard about this, let me tell you about this because it's kind of we were talking about this yesterday. So Burger King have brought out what they call the real cheeseburger. Okay, so you get the bread, the actual bun with a sesame bun, and there's no meat in it, nothing. What it is, the Kraft sliced cheeses, I call it the plastic cheese. Okay, they put 20 slices of this cheese in a bun, and that's their real cheeseburger. But you know what we were talking about? When I was with Tom, I rarely eat McDonald's, but I was starving. It was there, and I thought, shot it, I'll grab a burger. And we went in there, and we were thinking about it. And we thought, well, hang on a minute, because cheese is expensive here in Thailand, and if you go and buy a pack of that same cheese, it's probably got 6 slices in it, and you're going to pay about 150 baht. Okay, then that burger, I think, if I'm not wrong, is about 100 baht, something like that, 150 baht maybe, right? But you've got 20 slices of cheese in it. And people were saying, well, it's worth going to Burger King, buying a couple of those burgers, chucking the bread away and keeping the cheese. It's much cheaper than buying. I don't actually eat that cheese. Like I say, it's like plastic. There's so many chemicals in it. It's almost not cheese anymore. I like to eat real as near as you can get to real cheese here, cheddar and Edam and the bit with the blue bits in it, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, you're right. It's Burger King, so I shan't ever try that myself. I don't see the point of a 20 slice of cheese and a slice of bread or a bap. Jeff, Wise is incredible. They're brilliant. Right, Alpha Bravo. I did read your kind comments on the story today. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Hit the like button, please. Yep, agree with that. Stephen James. Them guys who cut up the German have just been charged with premeditated murder. I think they'll get death penalty. Right. Okay. I was going to talk about this in the members stream because I keep mentioning the members stream, but what it is, I obviously get a lot less people in the members stream. So sometimes it's a bit hard to keep the momentum going with this chat because it slows down. So I do prepare quite a bit. I've got a Ladyboy competition, the Manga Minute, Joke of the Week, and I've got a load of news articles. But seeing you've brought this up, Steve, I'll get into this. So if you haven't heard about this, what this is, there was a businessman in Pattaya and he was murdered. He was chopped up and they found him in a freezer, and all for 3 million baht, which is about 75,000 pounds or 100,000 US dollars. So let me just read this small article that I printed out from the Tiger this afternoon. So the search, his name's Hans Peter Mack. He was 62. Okay. So murder suspect of Hans Peter Mack. The search for Hans Peter Mack, 62, reached a tragic end on Monday night as police located his remains in a garbage bag at a rented house in Nong Pru, a city in southern Thailand. Two German suspects have been arrested. Mack, a property broker who lived with his Thai wife in the eastern city of Pattaya, had been missing since July the 4th. Police say the two suspects conspired to murder Mack, then transported and concealed his body. So what they did, they chopped him up, put him in plastic bags, and there's actually CC footage of a pickup truck going across a junction with his freezer on the back of this pickup truck, and supposedly he was in there. So they've arrested, I believe they arrested a German female, and they arrested a German male, but they've also arrested a Pakistani man. He's Pakistani by descent, but he's actually a Thai citizen. So he's a Thai citizen, but his race is Pakistani. He's him and his brother, obviously. His brother's nothing to do with it, but he's in custody, and he's basically saying, like, nothing to do with it, not guilty. I don't know. Well, you would do, wouldn't you? But he looks like he's up for a murder charge, and like you said here, a murder, first degree murder like that, it's a death. It is. It's death penalty. So that we'll be following that story quite closely. Thailand Clucker, Peter, why is this not always the instance? It can take up to 2 days. Yeah, I have found that out because I've used them a lot, and what I find is if you transfer larger amounts, they tend to hold on to do more checks on it. So, for instance, I transferred £500 first because I actually had that £500 sitting in my Wise account, so that's probably why it came through really fast. But I have found in the past, if I transfer, £300, £400, £500 within minutes, it's in my Thailand bank. If there's any delay, it's actually here where they, they sort it out. They actually credit your account for it. But generally, I transferred £6,000 yesterday. £500 I left in my Wise account, and £5,500 I transferred into Bangkok Bank, and I think I'm getting 245,000 baht for that. As I say, that's my living expenses for the next 3 months, 2 to 3 months anyway. I'll try and stretch it out. And the rate was very good, but as you say, it can take up to 2 days. And I'm actually, they're Wise are very good at tracking the money and keeping you informed. You can log on and see at what point your transfer is. And at the moment, I logged on today, and they said your money is with us. We've sent it to your bank. It will get to your bank by 10 a.m. Monday morning. It will be in your account by 1:20. They were that exact. So yeah, I'm expecting by Monday lunchtime. Sorry about the. Give this a quick. I always get itchy hooter when I'm doing this. I'm expecting the money to, be in there by Monday lunchtime, the latest. We were laughing today because I was talking to a friend, and we were talking about that the money you're supposed to keep if you're on a retirement visa. And here's a bit of information. I only found this out yesterday. I was quite glad. I was shocked and glad I did. But when you go for your retirement visa, you can basically put 800,000 baht. If you do it yourself, you put 800,000 baht in the bank the day before you go for your visa, and that's fine, no problem, as long as you've got it sitting there. But I didn't know that you're supposed to have 800,000 sitting on your second year. You're supposed to have 800,000 baht sitting in your account no less than 90 days before you apply for your second year's visa, and you're not allowed to drop lower than 400,000 if you're doing it that way rather than a monthly salary. So good information. It's good to know that. Right. Alpha Bravo. When was the last death penalty practiced, hung up, or shot? I think they do lethal injection now, but the old way they used to do it by machine guns. So what they'd do, they'd tie the poor guy, whoever he was, or woman, they'd have a stake in the ground, and they'd tie him. The machine gun was behind him, so they'd tie him so he's facing forward. And what they did, they had 3 prison guards on the machine gun. So what they did, they'd have 3 pieces of string on the trigger, and there was something, so they didn't know who actually shot him, or something like a blank, or I don't know exactly. I just know they had 3 pieces of string, 3 officers, and when the time came when they had to execute the guy, all 3 officers pulled the string, and the idea was that nobody actually knew which bullet killed him, so it kind of the officers didn't know which one of them. I'm getting complicated now. What they used to do on the firing squads in the old days, if they had, I don't know how many's in a firing squad, but just say they had 10 guys, they'd have one rifle with a blank in it, and nobody knew who had that blank. The idea of it was psychological, so that when you shot, you could be the guy with a blank, and you might not have murdered him. That was the idea of it anyway. I hope I kind of answered the question. It wasn't the best answer in the world, but there you go. Right, 255 in now. We have been going for half an hour. If you just joined us, good evening. It's live from Bangkok, and a very quiet Bangkok at the moment. I'll tell you what's surprising. We haven't had much rain. We're supposed to be into the rainy season right now, and nothing, which is good. I like it. Right, Tron Roger, can we have a bit more mongery background, Peter? The one with the silver top, advantages, no pressure. Well, let me see what I've got. The thing is, I haven't got any new pictures because I got I had a problem with YouTube about the sort of stuff I was putting up. Okay, let's put this one up there. No, I won't put that up there for now. I'll put up. Let's have a little. Put that one up there. Okay. Pretty girls, not showing too much. Right, Tron Roger, I hope that'll satisfy you for a while. We'll get a bit more risque in the members area. Right, neighborhood 123, you should sleep better when you are off the drink. Alcohol disrupts sleep, and yeah, I can't say that other word. Yeah, I've heard, because when you go to sleep, there's a part of the night where you go into a real deep sleep. That's when you do all the dreaming, and apparently when you drink, you do fall straight to sleep, but it's not a good sleep. I've always had a good sleep one way or the other. I don't know. JM, now is the 5G inside, you pick it up on your phone. JM, now is the 5G inside, can you pick it up on? Oh, can I pick it on my phone? No, it's it's advertised as 5G. I mean, I've got my phone here. What is it say I'm getting? Yeah, if what it is, it flicks between 4 and 5G. So if you're out doing a live stream on a phone, you're better just setting it to 4G, because if you're in a 5G signal, it's not static all the time like 4G is. And when you're moving about, when you get the black window and the white wheel in it, right. Mark Smith, water, are you sick? No, I'm not sick. What do you mean by that? Brian Street, outside Gulliver's Soy 5. Okay, you're there now, are you, Brian? You're outside on Gulliver's on Soy 5. You're not a million miles from me, but I'm obviously in tonight. Tonto, what about the German murders? Well, we've just gone over them. You must have come in late, because I've just read an article about it and we were talking about it, so you'll have to go back on that. Right, Stephen Weeks, absolutely agree. Train station stream was wild. Couldn't imagine a train coming through until you actually streamed it. Amazing. But yeah, it was. Do you know what, Steve? It was unbelievable, because I've watched video. One of the things as a YouTuber, what happens is when you go out and make videos in Thailand, you get a lot of feedback. People say, "Oh, it's been done to death. Everybody's filmed the railway market. Everybody's filmed this one. Everybody's filmed that one." So what do? You don't film anything. Everybody's got their own take on it, haven't they? And now that I've got Marley on board, she's a very funny girl, and she brings a bit of laughter to the movies. And now I'm doing these bloopers. They seem to be quite popular, although some people have said we're like an old married couple in the car, which couldn't be further from the truth, but that's how it appears anyway. But yeah, I do want. I haven't finished with the manga stuff, but I do want to get out and do these kind of videos, because it's well, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the actual train. Yeah, it's great. I was blown away, because you get on this market. I've seen it on YouTube so many times, and there's a track, and literally they're not like a foot away. I mean, they're literally on the track. But it's great when the train comes through. The driver's aware. They know exactly where to put everything. And is that somebody's just joined? Said Abu, new member. Said Abu Sada, welcome. Good on you. Right. Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely amazing. And like I said in the video, we found a little cafe with air conditioning, and they only let their customers, which was us, there. And yeah, it was a brilliant day, and it gets really exciting. The build up, everyone's there getting excited. The stalls start going back, and there's a real carnival atmosphere, like I said in the video. I wouldn't mind taking my daughters down there when they come out here at the end of the year. They might find it a bit boring though, mightn't they? Mini Berbick. What about going to Lopburi? Lopburi is about 100 miles north of Bangkok. If you don't know Lopburi, that's where the monkeys were having monkey wars. Do you remember during COVID? Let's not talk about COVID, new strains and all that. Do you remember you had these? It's famous for monkeys. They got thousands of monkeys in Lopburi. And did I put it? Let me put it on screen. Your comment there. Okay, that's how it's spelled, Lopburi. And what happened? The tourists go there and they feed these thousands of monkeys. You know, a lot of people go there just to see the monkeys. And when COVID was there, there's no tourists. They weren't getting fed, and these monkeys were squaring off. You know, there's videos on YouTube where you see up to 100 monkeys, maybe 50 to 80, and they're in two gangs and they're squaring off, you know, and they're starving. And shop owners were having to buy stuffed toys that look like, you know, tigers and lions and put them on the front of the shelves because monkeys were just coming in and robbing everything, you know. But yeah, I mean, that. I don't know how if we could do it in a day. It's about 100 miles. Okay, let me make a note of that because that's a good suggestion. So if you've just joined us, I'm looking for ideas what to film this Wednesday because we're going out of town, Marley and myself, and we haven't made up our mind. So that's the first suggestion. I'll have a look on Google Maps and see if it's doable. I'll tell you what, though, the only downside with that, because people have said to me, when you go there, you must secure everything, cameras, whatever you're carrying, they'll have it off you, you know. So I don't want to be there with a selfie stick and my expensive microphone and cameras, and a monkey pulls it off me and runs on a roof. So I don't know, maybe not Lopbury. But if you've got any ideas about where you'd like to see us live stream on Wednesday, I've got a car, so that's not an issue. You know, give me an idea here. Steve the Butcher looks bloody hot though. Is that the girls or the temperature, Steve? Right, Martin Ryder. Chuck a Chuck weekend market. Jack or Jack weekend market would be an interesting video. You know, yeah. The thing is with Jack or Jack, it's so hot. It's I believe it's the biggest market in the world. I have got some news for you about Patpong Market because I went down there the other day. Yeah. You know, Jack or Jack, it's very hot because it's all undercover. There's no air, and you know, I'll put it on the list. Let me put it on the list just so I can. Uh, every idea you give me, I'm writing down now, and I'm going to go through these tomorrow and chat with Marley and decide where we're going. And if you've just joined us, we've just done a video on a UTL. We went up to a UTL, the old capital. I'm going to release that for the members after the members stream tonight, and it'll be out for everybody else on Wednesday. Okay, so that's Jack and Jack Market. Kelly, how you doing? Good day from Vancouver. Good to have you in the stream. We're well into the 30-minute mark now, past 30 minutes, over 250 in now. Another one from Kelly there. Idea for show anywhere in the farming country. Yeah, I've thought about that. The problem is, Kelly, you have to drive 6 hours each way because it's up in Isan. I used to live in Khon Kaen, and most of the farming region in the proper farmer region in Thailand is in the northeast of the country. And Thailand's a big country, you know. It's not America, obviously, but I think it's bigger than the UK. There's something like 10 million people in Bangkok, and I believe the whole population of Thailand is about 80 million people, so slightly bigger than the UK. But I have driven from Khon Kaen down to Bangkok. It's about 6 hours. So to do it in a day, I'm not sure it's viable. I could go up there and book me and Marley into 2 separate rooms in a hotel, but you know, it's a lot of expense for. You know, let me see if I can find somewhere nearer. You know, I haven't really looked. I'm just assuming, aren't I? But I know most of the farm country is in Northeast Asia. It's got to be really ideally. It's got to be within 2 hours. You know, you can like Patty's got a great road. You know, but I'm not going to go down and film Patty. They've got like 100,000 YouTubers down there. Alpha Bravo, like the stuff in a spray can. I'm lost again. What's that? Like the stuff in a spray can. Okay, right. See what happens. I read a comment and we talk about it, and then 10 minutes later, I read a late comment because I'm going slow, and I think, well, what was that we were talking about? Right, Klong Andy. Can I suggest Samaran Beach? It's north of Chatham and only 2 hours from Bangkok. Suitable for a day trip. Looks nice near Bang San, which is a bit of a dump, but I've not been myself. Okay, fair enough. Let me just get my lamp off here because I'm running out of tissue paper here. We'll write that down. So you're saying, how do you spell that? CHAOSA. And I will look at these tomorrow because I'm not working. I don't go on the computer on Sunday for anything, but I will to look at this if I don't go to Simon's for a roast. Okay. All right. So we'll put that over there. Any other ideas? Where should we film on Wednesday? Okay. Fat Tony sounds like a Sean Connery waiting to happen. A Sean Connery. Shocking. Do you remember those old James Bond films? I mentioned it before, you know, those corny lines they used to come out. I remember when Sean Connery was fighting Jaws, you know, the big guy with the teeth. And there was an electric kind of fence down there, and they were fighting, and Jaws, he kind of dodged out the way, and Jaws fell into this electric fence, and he was there, and you know, corny lines. Sean Connery looks at the camera and says, "Shocking." in his Scottish accent. You know, another, or you had who was the other one? Not Tony Curtis, Roger Moore when he was in space. Was it Diamonds Forever? And he's in bed with a girl, and they were like, "What's your situation, 007? We're just about to re-enter." You know, all those corny James Bond one-liners. Right, Paul Hoskin, how are you doing? I like it cheesy. Right, okay. Just joined us. One man in his vlog. Looking forward to seeing Marley again. Well, midnight, I'll release that. Reggae Vibes, hi Peter, how you doing? Good to have you in the stream. I notice people, because of the time in the UK now, I can't do it any other time. I can't get up at 3 in the morning and do it. But I notice the further into the stream I get, the more familiar faces come into it. So good to have you in Reggae Vibe. Crypto Chris, not much cheese in craft cheese. It's mostly chemicals, I know. Not now. I don't eat a lot of burgers, but if I have a burger, I always say I don't have cheese on it, and I always say no ketchup, but I do put ketchup. Let me explain. If you go to McDonald's and you order a burger, they put so much ketchup on it that it's sickly. You know, you eat this burger, it's dripping in ketchup. I do like a bit of ketchup on my burger, but I found the perfect solution now. So I don't have any of that shitty cheese, that's plastic cheese. So what I'll do, I'll go in, say I have a double hamburger, a beef burger. So I'll go in, I'll order the double cheeseburger without the cheese, and I'll tell them no mayo, no ketchup. They still have the onions and the sliced of pickle and a little bit of mustard. That's fine. But then what I do is I take ketchup from the dispensary. They must think I'm crazy. I ask for no mustard, ketchup. Then I take it from the dispensary, you know, the pump, and I just put a little bit on the top bread, and it just gives it that taste. But they put so much ketchup in it, it's like dripping. All right, Titanic. Okay, a new one. I haven't seen your name in here before. That burger has only been released as a marketing ploy, so it can go viral on TikTok. Yeah, and whoever thought of it had a great idea. But you know what? I might buy one tomorrow and just get the cheese out of it. But I've just said I don't eat that cheese, so that'd be I won't get it. Right, that German guy Karma. Okay, no name that. So I won't get into this, but you're saying that German guy Karma. So obviously he's done something or you know something I don't, because I haven't really read into it. So maybe he's upset somebody, and that's why you're saying karma. Okay. Max Smith, he was chilling. Alpha Brown, gangs of Thailand, gangs out of time. Well, there was another issue down in Pattaya I was reading about. I know this isn't a news channel, but we just talk about everything Thailand, right? There's been a bit of a what they call nuisance of youths down in Pattaya. So what they do, they hang around the seafront and they take the baffles out their motorbikes and they race up and down and they're just hanging about. And there's been a lot of complaints, you know, and police have been sort of rounding them up and telling them to behave themselves. I found something out which I found incredibly amazing yesterday. Did you know, bearing in mind, when you go down to, say, Pattaya, you're sitting on Jomtien Beach, you're in a deck chair, you know the scene, you know, it's 20 baht a day in Jomtien. In Pattaya, it's 50 baht a day on the deck chair, you know, the relaxing chairs. So the first thing you do when you sit down, I don't drink in the day, but a lot of guys do. They sit down. The first thing they do, they order a nice cold beer. Okay, they've had lunch. They come down to the beach, or they'll come down mid-morning, have lunch on the beach, sitting there in the sun, shirt off, little Thai girl next to them, ready for a nice day's relaxing. The lady comes across. What do you want? I'll have a Heineken. Thank you very much. Cold, that's good. Did you know it's illegal to drink beer on the beach in Thailand? Did you know that? I didn't know that. And you've got all the sellers selling beer. Right, let me say thank you to the first super chat of the evening. Might be the only super chat of the evening. Get yourself a virgin screwdriver. Thank you, Lewis, very much. That is a drink, by the way, if you don't know, virgin screwdriver. Very, very kind of you. First super chat. Right. I don't want to miss any of these. People complain and say, oh, you get so far behind in the comments. But I like to talk to people, people are on here. Right, but the problem is I've lost my place now. Right. Thailand Clucker. Peter, I have a home in Phetchabun and enjoy traveling to various places in Thailand. Maybe a road trip with Marley around northeast Thailand might be good. The problem is we can only do a day trips because I don't have a huge following. You know, if you look at there are some, I won't name them. You know who they are. There's some big channels in Thailand where they've got 400,000-500,000, even more subscribers. Well, when you're on that level of having 500,000 subscribers up to millions, you're making serious big money, and I mean big money. You're talking thousands of dollars. Okay. They're very lucky. There's very few people who can achieve that. When you're on the sort of numbers I'm on, yes, I make some money, but it's not enough to pay for all expenses, trips to Khon Kaen for 2 people. You know, it just isn't. And so at the moment, I mean, it's a great idea, and it's something probably for the future. I wouldn't want to do it on my own because I think Marley brings so much into it. But maybe that's something for the future. A stopover up there. Right, how far am I behind? Let me stick Mr. Hoskins' um, comment up there. What time did that come in? 9:33, and it's now 33:40. So I'm 10 minutes behind in the comments. Right, so let me try and whiz through these. Bangkok Pack, the Klongs of Bangkok by boat, but he does that a lot better than I do. You're talking about, Bangkok Pack does documentary style videos. He's very good at them. They're very professional. They're very well researched. I'm not going to do it because they wouldn't be as good as his videos. If you like to watch that sort of thing, his videos are brilliant. Right, Robin the Chosen One, good to see you. Haven't seen you in for a few weeks. How about a video on your favorite restaurants and street food around Nana and Assault? Will be helpful for us mongers. I'm not really a street food person, but yeah, I do know some places to eat. One of my favorite places at the moment is a little Thai restaurant just off Soi 33. It's inconspicuous. You wouldn't know it's there. And what I like about it, you won't get a seat in there after 7 o'clock, okay, because it's full every night with foreigners, Thais. The food is really good. They've got an extensive menu, a very big menu, and there's photographs of everything. So it's one of those restaurants you can just flick through and look at the pictures. Okay, it's cheap, it's not too oily. The food is good quality. The service is really good for a Thai restaurant. You got 4 or 5 little Thai girls with these T-shirts on with a company name. So that's one place I would definitely feature. Soi 33. That's a great place to eat. My other favorite down on the back of Soi 3 there, the Al. I said the name of it last week. I forgot now. Al Hussein, the kind of Arabic place. That's good. Yeah, let me think about it, because the problem is when you just go out onto Sukhumvit and eat, it's expensive, okay? But there's a few places just off Sukhumvit that are cheap, tasty, and you wouldn't know about it, right? Unless somebody showed you it was out. Well, actually, I was in one the other day, and we were enjoying a good food, and the bill was cheap. And I said to the guy, I says, people coming on holiday, they wouldn't venture in here, they wouldn't know it's here, and literally Sukhumvit is just round the corner. So yeah, okay, Robin, let me make a note of that. So I'll put food off Sukhumvit. Yeah, because I live around here. Right, okay, Robin. So that's on the list. I'll talk about that with Marley. See, Marley's not really helpful in this area because she lives in by IT Fortune Tower. Toby, I've done the Pat Pom Museum, mate. Honestly, a year ago, when COVID was on, there wasn't a lot to film, and I came here in December. I caught COVID. They wouldn't let me back on the aeroplane to go home. I had to stay here and isolate for a week. But if you look further back on my videos, there is a video, and it's called the Pat Pom Museum. It's had about 13,000 views on it now, but it's still current. You can go and have a look at it. Right, is it Simpass? You could do viewpoints on PP Island. They're amazing, and you could film the whole boat ride, everything, bit of a walk through your. Yeah, the knee's getting a lot better now, I'll be honest with you, but at the moment I can't take on long walks. If I go out with Marley for the day and we film, I can just about take it, because we're in the car, we do a bit of filming in the car again, or we're standing in one place. But to actually do a day where I'm just totally walking, that's what done it in the first place. But I am a lot better than I was. I'm not limping anymore, and I can go out without a bandage. But like I said, last night I went out with Tom. We had a few drinks. I was walking around Sukhumvit. When I got back, I can feel it today. It's not really bad, but I can feel it. Lumpini Live. Hope the knee's feeling better after 11 days. Clean living, great work, dropping weight. Do you know what you'll notice on that video, right? When I released the video, a YouTube video, I took a second take. The reason is you'll see a part in the video where we're standing at a river what do they call it? Market river. Well, they've got a name for it, proper name for it. I can't remember what it is now. Where they have the boats on the river. What do they call it? Floating market. That's it. Floating market. So in Ayutthaya, they have a floating market, but it's not a floating market anymore, if that makes sense. So you can go there and ride a boat, and they charge foreigners 200 baht just to go inside the area. Thais are free, but we didn't go in because I wasn't going to pay 200 baht, okay, just to shoot a bit of film. But we stood outside and we're talking about it, and I've got a long, instead of a selfie, it's a stand-up tripod, which I can, because I've got the CGI mics now, so I can do the Bangkok Pat thing, right? So we put the mic the film, and you can see our whole bodies. And I was talking, and then I put it over to Marley. But when I watched it back, my gut was like a tire, you know. And I looked, and I thought, I look disgusting, you know. I even put on the video, I've got to start that diet. So we went back and retook it. I said to Marley, I'm not going to put that out. I look like a right fat sod. So we went. I said, I'm going to take it again. So we did it again, and I recorded it from kind of. Let me just get rid of this. So I recorded it from here, just above my stomach, right? And it did look better, but the actual vocals, because there were a lot of people coming. When we did the first take, there was nobody there, and it was we took our time, and it came out well. When we went back for the second take, there were a lot of people there, and it was kind of rushed. And I said to Marley, look, I'm going to use the first take. It's much better, but you'll see that when you watch the video. And that's down to weight as well. If I got rid of the weight, then that'd take a lot of the a lot of the stress out the knee, wouldn't it? Alan edited, you can fit all of Thailand into Alberta with room left over. Yeah, I know, it's a big country, the States. Paul Hoskin, that isn't going to happen, unfortunately. Right. Nick S, the aquarium in Pattaya and elephant sanctuary. I'm really reluctant to do it, Nick, because like I say, there's how many YouTubers are in Pattaya filming all this stuff, Do you really need another video from me, something in Pattaya? Martin Ryder, video of the river buses on Chao River would be useful. Yeah, okay. One I was interested in was one that Bangkok Pat did, was the electric. They've got a free sightseeing tour on these new electric boats. It's about half an hour long through the old city. That looked quite interesting. Kev 12345 Peter, what about Klong Toi? Yeah, well, this area is Klong Toi actually, and it's not pronounced Toi. Somebody told me it's Klong Toi. Alan edited again. Pattaya Tiger Zoo was okay. I want to do stuff outside Pattaya. Okay, there's enough YouTubers down there, so like the railway market was perfect, the UTL was perfect, so that sort of stuff. Lija, your sound isn't so good. I'm going to ignore that because somebody came in last week and said that and threw me off, and the sound was perfect. Everybody could hear me fine, so I'm going to ignore that and assume it's coming from your end. CT Roger Moore versus Jaws. Yeah. I've seen an interview with Jaws, the big guy in the James Bond movies. He's a very nice guy, actually. He always played the baddie, didn't he, with his metal teeth. Okay, Jeff's stop getting Bond wrong. Okay, would you like my the number for my refunds department? I always I've got it handy. Scout Sandy 71 Moonraker was in Space Beer. Actually, Moonraker was the only Bond movie that I ever seen in the cinema. I was living on the Isle of Wight, and I must have been about 18, 20, something like that. No, look younger than that. No, it was about 20. I think it was about 20, and Moonraker came out at the cinema in Ventnor on the Isle of Wight, and I actually went to see it with a friend. Steve James asked no ketchup. Steve, let me rush through these now. Scotchy, hey Pete, late in the stream, but hope all is well. It's all good. But as usual, my air conditioning doesn't seem to be pumping out cold air. So let me turn this off and on again. Hang on. Oh, I still haven't worked it out. It's like it gets really hot. Can you see? It's on the lowest setting, number 18. Can you see? And I went to switch it off, but it seems to have gone into a higher mode now. Give it 10 minutes, I'll be freezing my nuts off. Capio, how you doing? New member? I thought you were a member already. Good to see you in anyway. Fleeting visit, I would imagine. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start with the latest comments and work back because I'm getting quite far behind. And what I talk about now won't be relevant to what you were talking about 10 minutes ago, but maybe I'll get back to yours. So, Darcy, the latest one, 15 weeks until I'm back in Thailand, and that I'm not counting. 15 weeks, you'll be here when? That's we're in July now, aren't we? So, beginning of October. So that's a good time to come here. Ricardo. Hi Peter, what's going on with the Landmark Hotel? I watched a new video the other day and the front of it was completely closed off with steel hoarding, maybe a big refurb. I would imagine it's a refurb. I've seen it. I've gone past it on my motorbike. I would imagine a refurb because it's getting quite dated now, isn't it, the Landmark? And it is such a famous landmark. I had a bit of an issue yesterday, actually. I've got this brand new Honda Click. I've had it for about 2 months now. I went on the BTS yesterday because it's a long soy I live in. And normally I'd walk, but because of my knee, what I do is I take my scooter, my 160cc Honda Click, I take it up to the top of the soy, park it, and I jump on the BTS or across the road onto the BTS. And I came back after 3 hours visiting somebody, and it was dead. The battery was absolutely flat. So I had to push the scooter all the way down the long soy. I got one of the guys in the condo, gave him a couple of $100. He took the battery out for me. He bought a battery charger this morning in, charged the battery, took a picture of it fully charged, and within an hour it was dead. Now, I could go back to the Honda shop and get a replacement battery, but it's like half an hour away. I'd have to get a taxi. I'd have to and ah it. You know what it's like. And then I'd probably get it eventually, but it was so much hassle factor. I said to the guy, I said, well, how much is a new battery? And he said, well, 800 baht. It'll be charged and it comes in plastic wrap, so it's brand new. And I was like, 800 baht? I said, I mean, it's like cheap. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, here's 1,000 baht. Pick me up a battery in the morning, fit it to the bike, and by lunchtime tomorrow I'll be riding the bike again. But it's weird how the battery just died. It's a proper Honda battery, you know. Um, Right, Paul Hoskins, what's the funniest experience you've had in Thailand? God, there's so many, Paul. I actually did a video about a year ago called 20 Things That I Remember in Thailand, just things that stick out in my mind. But to give you an example, one of the things from that video, we used to have a friend called, he was a real tight ass. I forget his name now. Let's just call him Paul. That wasn't his name. In the video, he's got a different name. But it's just something I remember, right? Okay, so this guy he's a gardener in the UK. And when I say he's a gardener, he's not a landscaper or a professional gardener. What he does, he sweeps old ladies' drives of snow in the winter, or he'll cut old ladies' lawns, you know, for £10. And he's an odd job kind of gardener, one of those guys who'll sweep the leaves and take them away for 12, £15, you know. And in those days, there used to be a group of us that met up, and it was quite a large group. There's probably 8 of us to sometimes 10 at the weekend, and we'd all go out on our own, or 2 of us, but we'd meet up in this bar, and it was my friend's bar, and it's still there today in Nana Plaza. It's on the 3rd floor. I believe it's called Billboard, but back in those days, it used to be called the Carousel. So when you walked in, there was a revolving stage on the left, which is still there today, and on the right, there was just a static round stage. There's a kind of jacuzzi thing there. So what we used to do, there were 2 bars as you walk in, where not the Carousel, but the other bar. There was a small bar there, and we all used to stand there and have a drink. And there was another bar, like you'd have to go around the big Carousel bar, and there was another bar down there. So what I remember about this story, this guy was tight. I mean, he was stingy. You talk about cheap Charlies. This guy was on a level by himself. So what he used to do, so we'd be at the bar, and it'd be time for another beer. And say it was my turn, I'd buy the whole 8 or 10 guys a beer. It was quite expensive, a couple of $1,000 baht. But then I drank for the rest of the night, and I didn't buy another beer because we all had our turn, right? But what this guy used to do, when it was his turn, he used to go to the stage, the Carousel, and he used to pretend he was looking at the girls and make faces, and, oh, hello, and all this crap. And what he used to do, he used to sneak off around the Carousel, and he'd go to the other bar, and he'd buy himself a beer, and he'd have a little sip of it, say that much of it, and he'd work his way back round, and then he'd start talking to the girls, then he'd kind of fade back into us. And it took us a few weeks, but we worked out what he was doing. So what he was doing, he was coming into the bar, he was taking drinks off everybody, right? And then when it was his turn, he was like sneaking off and buying his own. So what we done one day, um, we actually waited for him to do it, and he sneaked off to the bar, and we all stealthily went our different ways and got in behind him. And when he ordered, we all put our orders in, and I think the guy nearly had a heart attack. But you know, Paul, I've got so many funny stories like that. That some of them are funny, some of them are sad. But you know, when you've been coming to Thailand for a long time, lots of things happen. Another thing that comes out, just real quick one, it was when I first got here and I was totally naive, and I'm lucky I didn't get punched in the face. Simon took me to a nightclub. I think I was 31 at the time. It was down on Pat Pong. I must remember to tell you about Pat Pong. Let me just make a note of that. Hang on, Pat Pong, because I went down there the other night. So I was an idiot, right? I got here, I didn't know anything about Thailand. I was 30 years of age, 31 years of age, I think, at the time. We went to this nightclub. It was upstairs, and where we were standing at the bar, there was Simon there and there was me here. People had to come past us and go to the toilet over there. So what I would do, half pissed, a girl had come up, walk past us, I'd like her backside, but I'd do it in such a way that she thought it was Simon, which was really dangerous, actually. So what had happened, she'd walk past, I'd grab her backside and go like this, but really fast. I'd get my beer and I'd look over there like I was, you know, it wasn't me. And the girl always looked at Simon, and because Simon was getting really pissed off, he's like, you know, you're going to get punched. And if one of their boyfriends see you, the Thai boyfriends, you know, lots and lots of stories. You know, I got away with it. I was very, very lucky. Right, Thailand Cluck again. We all had a friend like that, and if you don't remember, it was probably you. Okay, True. Wayfarer, hi Peter. Right, just the last thing on that comment about that guy who did that. So, if you're on a budget and you can't afford to buy rounds of beer, that's fine. You know, people accept that. So if you go in, you say, look, you know, guys, look, I'm not on a big budget. I'll take care of myself. So you come out in a group. I don't go out in big groups anymore, but just say you went out in a group of 8 guys and you're at a bar and you said to the guys, look, I'm not on the biggest budget in the world. Don't worry about me. I'll look after myself. And you bought your beer and you didn't buy anybody else a beer, but you didn't accept it. That's perfectly fine. Everybody understands that. But when you take a beer off everybody, then it's your turn, you sneak off. That is a little bit out of order, I think. Right, down to earth. Hang on, I had one there. Missed it. Wayfarer, right. Hi, Peter. How's Benji? Have you ever thought about bringing him over? You'd probably have to move into a house. No, he's too old now. I miss him. I miss him a hell of a lot. Sometimes my daughter sends pictures of him. Benji's my dog. He's old now, and he was my best friend when I was in, you know, when I had all the stress of the UK. I really miss him, but he won't come out here. And the other thing is, it's like babysitting. You know, you can't do anything when you've got a dog. I can't go off for the day when I've got a dog, can I? Bernie. Bernie's in the house. Great stories this morning. Glad to hear that your knee is feeling much better. Some interesting typical family-run Thai restaurants along the famous river worth visiting for lunch. Yeah. Well, we went down to Chinatown. There were a load of places on the river there, but there's only so much you can do in the day, isn't there? If you think I've skipped over your comment, guys, I haven't. I'm trying to get to the later ones so that I keep it current because I get so far behind when I stop for a story or something, but I will work my way back. Capio, right. I've seen your dog. He's lovely. My dog driving me nuts today, but he's worth it. Yeah, they're brilliant, aren't they? The thing about a dog, it doesn't matter what people do behind your back, how they treat you, what sort of a day you have, who's pissed you off, what the weather's like. You walk in the door and that dog is so happy to see you. It doesn't matter. He's always going to be your best friend, wagging his tail, happy to see you, right? And that's, you know, dogs are brilliant like that. Right. Okay. Let's talk about Pat Pong. Martin Ryder, super pussies in Pat Pong. I had the best show back in the day. Yeah. Okay. It used to be. I think it's a bit of a has been now, Pat Pong. Dante, I listened to your stream last week. Capo, you are very well spoken. I enjoyed it. Okay. Right. Yeah, Capo has his own stream. Right. Let me talk a little bit about Pat Pong. Right. So I was with somebody who I don't often do like tours and stuff like that. Like people have written to me and said, if I come to Bangkok and I give you 4,000 baht, will you show me around the red light areas? I'm like, no, you know, it's not what I do. You know, I mean, I don't have I don't have a license to be a tour guide, you know, so I don't want to risk stuff like that. And the other thing is, it's very tiring, and I just don't want to do it, you know. But I don't mind now and again meeting up and saying to somebody, well, I'll show you some. Like the guy last night, he'd never seen the German beer garden in Soy 5. And I said, well, I'll take you over there. It's been there for 40 years. As it happens, we didn't get to it because we stopped for a few games of pool, and you know how it goes. We kind of couldn't leave that bar. So this person said to me, I've never been to Pat Pong, you know. And I said, well, you know, if you want to go and have a drink or something, we'll go down and have a look. And it was early evening. It was about probably about 9 o'clock. And this was 3 nights ago. And I wanted to go down there because I'd heard, you know, if you're familiar, they have the big, in Pat Pong 1, they have the big market running down the middle. And it's great. You can get a lot of fake goods there. And the watches they have are kind of, you can beat down the price. You can get some good fake watches. I don't wear fake watches myself, but if you're into that, you know, I'll show you something I got from Pat Pong last year just for fun. A Mont Blanc pen, right? They cost, you know, hundreds and hundreds of US dollars, a real one. It looks like the real thing. It cost me 100 baht, right? 100 baht is like it's about £2.20 at the moment, $2.50. Mont Blanc pen, you know, looks like the real thing. It writes like the thing. It really writes like a proper pen. It's lovely. The only giveaway on it, it's got the star on the end, the Mont Blanc star, but on a real Mont Blanc, that's like an eggshell. The shape's like an eggshell, and that's flat. That's the giveaway. But other than that, Mont Blanc pen 100. So you can go to Pat Pong Market and you can buy all these fake bags, watches, pens. It's great, you know, great. If you want to take your friends some gifts home, you know. And so I will say thank you to that super chat in a second. So we went down there, and the market is now open, but it's low season, so it's too early to tell. So the market was there. There was a big section in the middle missing, and they put a kind of like temporary beer garden in the middle. So they got what was it they had? Singer on tap, and there's those, you know, those horrible yellow chairs that they have everywhere in Thailand, tin chairs that are, you know, really uncomfortable, and tin tables. So they've got a kind of little beer garden in Pat Pong 1, and then you have stalls, but it's kind of a little bit limp at the moment. So I think by the time high season comes, it'll be worth another visit, and I hope it comes back because I'm not a fan of Pat Pong, but the market's great, and at least it's come back now from COVID. Right, let me just say thank you to Mara. Question: when I live in Bangkok, can I do the visa stuff in Pattaya? I would say to you, unless you're going to do your visa yourself, if you're going to use an agent, I would say definitely do it in Pattaya. Why? Because it's cheaper, it's quicker, the process is a lot easier. They do it every day. There's a lot of foreigners in Pattaya who have visas done. I tried to do it in Bangkok. It's possible to do it here. You can do it in the trendy building on Soi 13. There's agents everywhere. It's more expensive. It's a little bit more complicated. You've got to get around. Yeah, go down. Use Lana, Farang Visa. That's who I recommend. She did mine. I'm not going to talk about costs or money in the bank and all the rest of it, but the answer to your question is I would go down to Pattaya. And if you're in Bangkok, it's 131 baht on the bus to get down to Pattaya. I've done it. It's great. Steve, welcome, welcome, welcome. Better late than never. Yes, I had a Labrador for 13 years. Great dog. Sadly, I always wanted a Labrador and never got a Labrador. We had beagles. We had two beagles. One beagle, she died, and then we got a second beagle, Benji. They're great. They're great. Very naughty dogs, though. Right, Martin Ryder got a genuine Rolex Submariner on Patpong night market bargain at 100 baht. You know, the Submariner is the most sought after Rolex in the world. The second-hand ones go for more than brand new ones because you just can't get them. Shane Traveller, soy, I think means soy cowboy there, not boy. Right, Shane, soy cowboy is the best or Coastal Road. Okay, let's talk about that. So 3 areas, right? Carlson Road, Nana Plaza, Soy Cowboy. There's a lot more. You can go down Petcherbury Road. They've got big entertainment. RC City. It's all out there. Thai nightclubs, bottles of Black Label on the table. We'll talk about these 3 places. Okay. For me personally, this is how I see it. Okay. Been coming here a long time. 3 entertainment areas. Okay. For me, Nana used to be very, very exciting. Lots of go-go bars, lots of things going on. I just feel it's become too commercialized now. It's too hardcore. You walk in there, the girls are real hardcore. They are pushed. Okay, so it's not for me. It might be for you, right? Carlson Road, the music is, I don't want to sound like an old man, but loud is an understatement, right? It's full of a lot of young people. They're backpackers, gap years, 22 years old, 23. Thai girls go down to meet young Thai girls, vice versa. It is like, you cannot sit in a bar and have a conversation. It's so loud. I went there with Simon one night and we were shouting and my ears were actually ringing every time he spoke to me. So that's not for me. So in this case, I will agree with you, Shane. Soy Cowboy is, in my book, probably the better option, especially if you're an older guy, for a few reasons. Firstly, there's some good bars down there. Okay, I'm not going to give you the reasons. Okay, you all know Soy Cowboy. It's my favorite place as well, Shane. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a thing of the past now, is it? Pat Pong was lethal if you went into the bars upstairs. That's where the ping pong show, and they locked you in so you couldn't get out before paying a big bill. Steve Yoz, I use a 25p Bic ball point pen. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we all do, but I couldn't resist. That's I don't know where I got that. That's free from somewhere, I think. Yeah, who is that from? Is that 7-Eleven? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, who's this from? Look, the Grow Shop Asia. I'm not a high flyer, I'll tell you. But how can you resist? If you know that when I was in the hotel trade, we all had a Mont Blanc pen in our top pocket, kind of status symbol. I've got a Mont Blanc, I'm the manager, sort of thing. But I don't bother now. But for 100 baht. 100 baht Mont Blanc. Go and look it up on the internet. Just put Mont Blanc pen, and that's what you'll see. Couldn't resist it. Couldn't resist it. Right. Okay. Mark Lillingworth. Let me put that out there. Right, I knew one in Vietnam, but didn't know there was one in Thailand. Okay, Stephen James, stinky rear ends. I can do without. Thank you very much. Stinky rear ends. Okay, right. Let's go back. Capio, lots of comments from you there. Right, I've never been to Pat Pong. Always seems to end up in Soi 4 in Bangkok. Yeah, Soi 4 is pretty good outside, but you got to watch the pennies there, guys. Stumble's a good bar, but you got to tell them girls in there straight. Else they won't leave you alone. Capio, I've never been to Pat Pong. Always seem to end up in Soi 4. I just read that one. Okay, and the other one was talking to somebody else there. All right. Right, Paul Hoskins, I'm so ugly. The girls don't try to pull me into the bars in soy cardboard. But you got money in your pocket, Paul. So if you got money in your pocket, you're a handsome man. Simple as that. Stephen James, four beers in a night. Not trolling, but seems like you have an addiction. Stephen, who are you, Mother Teresa? I'm not going to deny that because I don't feel I have to deny it to anybody. What I actually said was, if you don't need to drink every night, but if you go out and you have four beers, I don't think it's a problem, but it doesn't mean you have them every night. What I was saying was you go out, you have 3, 4 beers, and you might have 5 nights where you don't drink. But come on, for God's sake, Paul. What are you, the beer police? Right, Mark. Cheeky monkeys. Cheeky monkeys. Where's that? That's in Hua Hin, isn't it? Right, let's go back. See who else. Ben Leno, soy 8 for me. Soy 8 is a very good soy. Soy 11's good now. I went down to soy 11 the other night. They got some good stuff down there. It's quite a lot you have to walk quite a way to get to certain places. I like Oscars in soy 11. They have cocktails in there, but it's like 300 baht a cocktail, but you can go in there and have a Singapore sling or an old fashioned or a real old, it's a real nice atmosphere cocktail lounge with a few kind of high end, girls in there, and you just sit at the bar and take it all in. I sometimes go in there and just have a couple of cocktails. Quite a nice atmosphere. Thai Billy Boy, I have been waiting for the call from an authorized dealer now for 2 years for a Submariner, so difficult to work. Well, Thai Billy Boy, you're obviously in a better financial position than I am if you can even apply for one. I lost a Rolex. Can you believe that? I had the presidential Rolex. That's a solid 18 karat gold. Okay, I bought it secondhand in the MBK Center. 25 years ago, it cost me 200,000 baht. I actually lost it. Can you believe that? I then lost a Raymond Wheeled watch that cost me 20 years ago, cost me 40,000 baht, about £1,000. That was on a campsite in England. I took it off in a communal wash area to have a shave, left it on the side, came back. 2 minutes later, it was gone, gutted. And what do I wear now? Oh, I've still got a couple of nice watches, but not as nice as them. Steve, Soy 11 is my favorite area. They've knocked down all the bars there, Steve. There's a 30-second video up on my channel where it's just corrugated iron down there. They had about 30 bars in there. Shame, really. They were good little bars. Right, Capio. Soy Cowboy isn't my cup of tea as I don't like the go-go bars. Well, there's some good bars that you can sit outside, I mean, in the old days, you had to go into a door and into a bar. But, now they've built out all the bars have kind of, notice the streets got thinner, hasn't it? Because they've built outside the go-go bars are built out. So they've got an outside area. And that can be quite nice, sitting out watching the world go by. Shane, beagles are the best dogs. They use them for the smoke tests in the 70s, aren't they? So timid. They wouldn't, Shame. Let's try and get some of these older ones in. Stephen James, not sure if there is a better way to say this, but I like getting it on with the ladies. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Cappy, I've never been to... Okay, we read that. Max Smith, Windmill. Okay. Right, Jim, how are you? Let's get your comment up there. Hey, Yoz, hope all is well. Look, I put your comment and you're not even saying hello to me. Jim, how are you doing? Right, I haven't seen... Franco's in there, so somewhere. I haven't seen Damon in. He'll probably be in the latest stream. Nomio Inspector, evening, Peter. Just got in from work. Good to have you in, Nomio Inspector. Nice picture there of the old Nomio. Steve P, odd job, more Bond references. Yeah, sound is terrible, Max Smith. Right. I get this every week, right? Somebody comes into the stream and tells me that the sound is terrible. When I go back and look at the when I looked at the rerun, there was no problem with it. I had one week where I put it on the wrong mic and it was echoey, and everybody tells you like, "Oh, the sound's terrible." But every week I seem to have one guy who comes in and says, "Oh, you're talking to yourself," or "We can't hear," or "It's crackly," or "It's breaking up," and actually it isn't. It isn't at all, right? So for most of the regular guys in here, just give me a quick shout on the sound if it's okay. If you all say it's okay, I'm going to ignore that guy. Right, let me just say thank you to, who's this? Christopher Walker just arrived. Hello, Mongers. Hi, Chris. Thank you very much for that super chat. Very generous as always. Yeah, Mara, sound is good. I don't know what it is. This Mike Mike and like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the sound today. Yeah, so let me get rid of that guy. If I see him again, I'm just going to block him because I don't know what it is. You get guys who they come in, they try and disrupt a stream. So what they'll do, you're talking away, you're on a roll, and they say, "Oh, we can't hear you. The sound's cracking. You're breaking up," and then of course you lose your rhythm because you think, "Oh, the sound's not right. Let me fix this." And I got caught out a couple of times, but now I seem to get the same guy or guys every week saying, and I just don't go there now because I don't bite. Okay, I've just asked a question. Everybody's saying the sound's great. So the guy who said the sound is bad, go and watch TV. Right, Thailand Clucker. Max is a sound engineer. Oh, where I've lost you. Max is a sound engineer who works for the BBC. Okay, all right. Well, maybe his standards are too high to be here. Alpha Bravo sound is very good. Poor Hoskins, I can hear you. Good. You can see me. Okay, right. Everybody's saying the sound's good. Okay, all right. So mate, I don't know about the other guy. If it's the same guy you're talking about the engineer, maybe he's got like real high standards. I'm not high fidelity. Do they still use them words? Right, more than like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the sound today. Jake McShane, are you going to celebrate? Are you going to celebrate when you get to 50,000 subscribers? I think it will happen soon. It will happen by the end of the month. I'm on. Let me just check. Not that I'm watching. Let me do just a refresh here. Uh, Okay, so currently I've got 49,667 subscribers. So I need another 7, 8, 9, 10, about 300 and I don't know, 330, 340 subscribers. I should do that soon. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody told me last night a bizarre story, and I couldn't believe it. And I'm sure he wasn't lying because he checked in with one of the girls. So remember, I told you I went to that Victoria pub on 7/1 with Tom last night for a beer. And apparently, on my birthday, a few guys went there and they had a kind of Thailand bound get together. And my live stream was played in the pub. Well, I didn't know nothing about it. Nobody told me about it, but apparently, there's a few guys there. They had a kind of Thailand bound get together and they were playing my live stream. And I thought it was a wind up, And I asked the bar girl and they said, "Do you know this guy?" And the bar girl said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, Peter, we play on the screen." And I'm like, shit, you had a birthday party and nobody invited me for my birthday. Really weird. Right, okay. Thai Billy Boy, sound and picture is excellent here, Peter. Right, good. Okay, in the UK. I think my green screen is about to go. No, it's the aircon. I just heard this creaking. I thought, blimey, the green screen is going to go. Joyous Roma sound is good. Right, let's leave the sound now because I don't know why people come in and say things like that. Right, let's get down to the latest one now. Stephen James, yes, 4 beers less than 2 weeks after swearing off alcohol, which is in turn followed drinking a full bottle of whiskey. Only one bottle of whiskey. Got to get at least three. Right, Doug, I don't know why people are so bothered about what I drink or what I eat, or I mean, I'm over 18, believe me, a little bit more than 18. Um, right, Doug, is the bridge over River Kwai location a day trip? I've done a video on it. Me and Simon went down. It was excellent. And in fact, we did it in a day, actually. Yeah, it's Kanchanaburi. It's a bit of a drive. I don't think it's something that Mali would shine through because it's World War II, it's history. And we did a really good video on there. We went to the bridge, we did the history. But what a lot of people do a lot of YouTubers will go down and they film the bridge over the River Kwai, but what they don't film is Hellfire Pass. That's about 80 kilometers away. And that's where they have the Australian Finance Museum, which is very, very good. Lots of old photographs and stuff like that in there, relics, but we couldn't actually get into it during COVID. The plus side was that there was nobody there. So when we went through Hellfire Pass, that's where they chiseled out the mountains so the tracks could be laid, so the train could go through to Burma. All done by hand. There was some explosives to loosen the rock, and then it was done by hand. And when I can imagine. During a regular time, there'd be coachloads of Japanese and Australians and people from around the world, and you'd be in a big crowd of people, waiting for the next person in front of you to move. But during COVID, there was no one there. The visitor centre was closed, but we were able to walk down to Hellfire Pass. We seen one Thai guy with his girlfriend. That's all we seen. We had the place to ourselves. And if you go back, it sounds like rain. Let me just check this, guys. Hang on. Oh dear. Hang on, you'll have to excuse me for 2 minutes, guys. It's water. Water's coming out of the aircon. Bear with me. Oh, well, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun tonight. I could hear this, like I thought it was ticking, and basically it was getting worse and worse. And I just turned this down. I looked down there, and it's like dripping with water, a lot of water. So I've turned it off. Hang on. Hang on, I'm going to have to throw a towel down there. Right. Oh God, that's put me off. Right. Well, there's a lot of water coming out. I've turned off the air conditioner, but there's still a lot of water dripping from it. So I've got about another 15 minutes on the stream, then I'll check it out. That's going to be interesting sleeping tonight with no aircon. Right, Damien, good evening, young sir. You've just joined us. Evening, Peter. Just got back from work. Saturday, I forgot you work on a Saturday. Of course, I thought you were shopping. Saturday is working, not shopping. That's tomorrow. Hope all's well. See you next month. Yeah. Oh, you're here next month, are you? What date? Right, Christopher Walker, talk among yourselves, mongers. It's typical, isn't it? You know, this is a managed block, and there's always a manager, a staff downstairs in reception. And it's Sunday tomorrow. There's no one here. And when does my aircon break down? Saturday night. Typical. Right, Toby Price. Sukhothai is supposed to be good, but not for mongers. Okay. Benji Bain. I was in. Wait, right. Let's put this up. I've lost my mojo a little bit now because of that. It's quite worrying. There's quite a lot of water come out of it. Right. I was in the city last night because fight cards at Lumpini Stadium start early to attract Friday night US viewers. Boy, is that place in the hinterlands, but great chat with the US TV producer after. Okay, fair enough. The Watch Wally. What do you think about the patio YouTubers, Peter? A lot of them are pumping out content which is just repetitive, basically. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because a lot of them, when they come here to live in Thailand, they want to live in Pattaya. They don't want to live in Bangkok. You know, it's a lot more expensive up here, and it's crowded, and it's Pattaya's Pattaya, and it's a beach town. It's a lot of fun, but the problem is, you're limited to the content you can put out there. And you're right. I don't want to knock them on here, but it's not their fault. But if you get a new restaurant opens up or a new bar, they all go and film it. So a new bar will open up, somebody will go and film it, and each and every one of them will go and film it after them. So you get a lot of videos of the same content. What do I think? That's the reason why I don't go. That's the reason why I'm not based in Pattaya, because I just don't want to be in another Thailand, another Pattaya YouTuber. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, perhaps I would be jumped in living down there. But doing YouTube, I'm better here in Bangkok, and I can drive out to these places like I'm doing recently. Right, Capio. Needs some Benny Hill music every time he runs past the screen. Yeah, my big gut and flat. I mean, I look quite like sensible here, but underneath, if you can see below my waist, I'm wearing the most ridiculous pair of shorts. I would never wear them outside of the room. They're like, it's a beach scene, like 80s. Right, Christopher Walker, Nomia Inspector has a nice avatar. Yeah, he has. Look, there it is. There, look. Oh no, that's yours. Where is he? I'll put it up if I see him again. Right. Yeah, I'll put that up. I won't say that. Oh, that's quite distracting. I didn't know there was so much water, so they'll have to. Luckily, I'm not in a. That's the downside. If you rent a room in Thailand, there's one aircon, and if it goes, you're in the shit. I've actually got one in the lounge and one here in the bedroom. So what I'm going to have to do is leave the bedroom door open and put the aircon on full, and hopefully it will cool the whole. After some hours, hopefully it will cool the whole apartment down enough to sleep. Right, Alan Editor Peter, you need to move your head. You're hiding the extra cute girl in the middle. Okay, just for a second then. Hang on. There you go. That's actually in Soy Cowboy. Look at the Mama San in between the two girls there. Look, don't she look hardcore? Look, hang on. It's hard to do it like this. Hang on. There. Don't she look hardcore? She'll suck the gold out your teeth while you're asleep. Warm night's sleep, says Shane. Yeah. Thank God I've got that second air conditioner. But it's wow. I don't know what causes them to go like that. Right. Okay. Let's stop talking about my. Right. Well, yeah. I was talking about Canterbury and the Death Railway. Anton, carried in. World War II, the Japanese Death Railway, Thailand bound. So you've just looked it up. Okay, that's the title of the video if you want to go off and watch it. There's a very good film actually that's based, and it's quite realistic. It's called The Railway Man. It's a couple of years older. It's probably even older than that. I believe Nicole Kidman's in it, and I forget the name of the guy, but he's a good actor. And he kind of goes back. He was there in the war, and you go and watch it. It's a good story. But if you want to watch my documentary, I call it documentary. It's a bit of a serious video. It really touched me actually going down there. So cruel what they did to those poor guys. Nora Batty in the middle. Yeah, that's the lady with the glasses on the top. Yeah. Okay, let me try and have I got anything else I can put up there? Usual suspects. Look, usual suspects. There we go. Right. Okay. Where are we now? Martin Ryder, Nora Battery in the middle. Yeah, Martin Ryder, Colin Firth. Okay, who's Colin Firth? Oh, that's the name of the actor from the Railway Man. It's a good movie. Good, very good movie. You know, I'm into history. When I went to, if you just joined us, if you're late in tonight, Marley and I, we went up to Ayutthaya last Wednesday. I've edited it now. I'm going to release the Ayutthaya video, after the member stream about midnight tonight for the members, and then everybody else will see it on a Wednesday. But I'm really into history. Where I used to live in the UK, I was very close to an American World War II base, flying fortresses, basically. I used to explore that as a boy. I loved all that, anything to do with the aviation, history, war, that sort of thing. And I even went to visit Colditz Castle, you know, in what was in the east of Germany, where they kept the prolific escapers. That was quite interesting as well. And Canterbury, the Death Railway. If you're here, it's worth a day. You can do it in a day, you know, but make sure you have transport. So when you've done the river, you can go to Hellfire Pass, because Hellfire Pass, you know, the problem with the river, on the bridge on the River Kwai, okay, it is a tourist thing. We know what went on there, and there are, you know, you can see bits and pieces, and the bridge is there, and you can walk it. It takes selfies. A train still comes. It's great, but you know, there's a lot of Japanese and Koreans and Chinese and I mean, it's like it's a touristy place, right? I mean, that's a bad thing to say because it's got the history, but if you want to get into it, really feel it, go to Hellfire Pass. That's where you really, when you walk through that rock that they chiseled out by hand, and you just walk along and you look out at the countryside and the heat, and you're in the jungle. I mean, that's hardcore. You know, you don't see too many tourists down there. Well, we didn't anyway, but it was low season. Oh, don't worry about that, Jeff. I don't have anything with the beverage friend. I'll make up for it next week. No, not at all. You leave it for a month or two. I mean, it's not a, you know, you're a very generous man. Right, I'll buy you a couple of beers if I ever meet you in Bangkok. Right, there he is. His nice avatar there. It's all hanging out. And you know me, I do like a nice pair of coconuts as well. So, you know my thumbnails, what they're like, right? Right, Stephen, Peter, there is a tube which carries the dehumidifier water outside, must be blocked. Check by the outside unit. Okay, well, I'm not going to get into it because it's a rental property. I don't want to start pulling tubes off and all the rest. I might have a little look tomorrow. Peter, there is a tube carries the dehumidifier outside. It must be blocked. The problem is I don't know which one it is, because on the balcony, just off the balcony, there's two units. Well, yeah, I could find out, right? Because when I turn this one off, the unit will go off. Just have to listen. All right, I'll have a look tomorrow, Stephen. Thank you for the tip. Kat says the heat will do your head in after a while. No, it's not too bad because they're good. They're good air cons, and I've got it on. The one thing about this aircon, you can get it right down to 18, but it's got a booster on it. When you click the booster, I mean, it really throws it out. Once the place cools down, I'll turn off that booster, but I feel comfortable. You know, normally I keep this door open because if anybody's walking by, they might be able to hear me. It's late here now, getting late, and I leave this door open, but it's just I'm not used to sleeping with the bedroom door open. You know, it's a bit, you know, a man of habit. Okay, but at least it's stopped now. That's a good thing. Right, David, how you doing, mate? Greetings from Las Vegas. We are under an excessive heat warning here. Will be 106 degrees, 41. That's hot, but we've got that in the UK as well. You know, I mean, that's the UK we're talking about there. I might as well come to Thailand. We'd probably feel cooler. I think it's about 30 degrees here, David. It's not bad. Franco, and this is a low season. Right, Franco, nice one, Marvin. Say thanks, Bob. Right, thank you, Marvin. I don't know why. Why is that then, Franco? Is there a super chat there or something? Right, Martin Ryder can right. Somebody else saying the same thing. Condensation outlet pipe loose. Would that be on the outside, Martin, or on the? I don't want to start pulling the unit to bits. That's for sure. I wouldn't even know how to get. Actually, I do know how to get into it. I'll have a tomorrow. I have a course. I might have a look tonight actually, but I don't want to. Last thing I want to do is start playing with it and it starts gushing out over me. Right, Daz. Hi, Peter. Do you? Let me put that up. Hi, Peter. Do you know anything about some bar girls spend their money on kick bars with young Thai men, which is the opposite? Yeah, I do, and it's very big in Pattaya actually. So if you don't know about this, there are only the Thai bar girls go bars know about these places, like people Thais in Pattaya, for instance. I've heard stories about this many times, and I've met a guy's experience who's actually been to one of these clubs. So basically, what it is, it's a go-go bar. They have them in Pattaya with Thai guys, and they're not gay bars, they're guys on the stage. But what happens, this is unbelievable, isn't it? You go into a go-go bar or a beer bar and you're paying a girl for her company. Well, these girls then take that money, not all of them, but some of them, and they go to these kind of go-go bars with Thai guys and they bar fine them. Yeah, it's unbelievable, right? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is psychologically, but there was a guy I knew. He was invited to go to one of these places, and he went there. And the manager actually said, the young guy, the manager actually said to me, he said, if you want to go on stage and see if you get a short time or something like that, and the guy was like, I'm fine, thank you very much. But yeah, absolutely, Daz. I've heard about it, and I've not witnessed it firsthand, but I've been told about it. Okay, Capio, had crazy storms in the UK today, flash flooding, thunder, and hailstone. Suppose it depends where you are. I don't know whereabouts in the UK you are, Capio, but my wife and kids are in Kettering, Northamptonshire. Not the most exciting place on the planet, but apparently it's very hot there. Luxury vegan travel. How are you doing? We had a little conversation last week, didn't we? You'll have a natural sauna. Get a couple of ladies round to fan you. Yeah. Okay. No, it's going to be fine. I can feel, and look, I'm wearing a t-shirt here because I don't want to. I don't want to put you off your lunch tomorrow, but as soon as this ends, this comes off. Thai Tilly, 18 centigrades here now. I'm in the UK. Paul, ultimate challenge would be a game of Connect 4 with the aircon off. That would be a challenge. Martin Blunston, it's tomboy clubs. Tomboy clubs, okay. All right. But it's not just tomboys go to the clubs. I know regular Thai girls go there as well. I say regular girls, bar girls. Okay, right. I'm nearly there, guy. I am there. Actually, I normally finish at 10:30. It's 28 minutes past. I hope you'll excuse me and let me off the 2 minutes because I'm going to check out this aircon. So look, if you remember, I'll be back in 15 minutes for the member stream. We've got a little bit of news. I've got joke of the week. I've got the Ladyboy competition. I've got the Monga minute. What else? That's about it. Okay, and a lot of banter and some the latest on certain things I talk about in the members area. Okay, so to everyone else, thanks for joining me tonight. Sorry, slightly early. I've got to go and have a look at this aircon.